Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So I know we haven't even gotten to Labor Day yet. We're actually like maybe like still a month away from Labor Day, but I'm ready for fall. Like I'm done with summer. I don't know if it was just the weather today. It was like really hot and sticky today, but I'm just ready for the cooler, more crisp weather. I'm ready to put on my fall jacket, my little scarf. I'm not quite ready for the big winter coat yet, but you know, I'm ready for the fall. I want to see the leaves change in color. My birthday is in the fall, so I always get excited about that. But with all of that being said, I was very inspired to do a fall themed makeup look today. So this is what I came up with. And I was gonna do like a berry themed, but I decided to go with purple just like off of a whim. So I really hope that y'all like the way that it looks, and I'm going to show y'all how I came up with it. But before we get started, if you're new here and you're not yet subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. It would really help me out and I would greatly appreciate it. And if you are a returning visitor and you're already supporting my channel, I really do appreciate your support. Thank you so much for coming back. So now let's jump right in. For foundation today, I'm mixing Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion with Bare Minerals Bare Pro foundation. I mixed these two together because one is too dark and the other is too light. So when I mix them together, I get the perfect shade, and I also get a really nice flawless finish with this combination. So I'm using like maybe 2 parts of the Bare Minerals to 1 part of the Laura Mercier. And today I'm gonna blend these out with my NYX number 3 brush. Lately I've been using a sponge to blend out my foundation, but today I just decided to use a brush. And I actually meant to do the powder underneath the foundation technique today on my nose and my forehead, but I'm just realizing that I forgot. But normally I would do that for this time of year because it's pretty hot and muggy out. I do think I need to go back on this side of my face with a little bit more foundation. I feel like just a little bit more. I think I have just a little bit more coverage over here than I do over here. So I'm gonna put just a little bit more of both on this side of my face. Ooh, I put out way too much of the Bare Minerals one. The Bare Minerals foundation is really runny, so I may have to see if I can spread that over the rest of my face. I think this is my first time doing like an actual makeup tutorial in like forever. Like I think my last few videos might have been like talking, I was chit-chatting. I can't even remember. I've been on the run like crazy for the past like month. My schedule has just been ridiculous, but I just feel like I haven't done this in quite some time. I did recently do like my minimal makeup tutorial, but I feel like this is my first time doing like a full face tutorial in a very long time. Alright, next I'm going in with some under eye concealer. I'm using the Too Faced Born This Way, and this is the new what is this called? The new multi-use sculpting concealer, super coverage concealer, and I'm using the color Maple. I also use the color Maple and the Born This Way foundation, and I really like this concealer. I've been using it every single day since I bought it. It's like the exact same shade as the Maple foundation. It just has a slight brightening effect, but it's pretty much the same shade, and it really does have super coverage to it. And a very little bit of this product goes a very long way, and you get so much product for, this is either $26 or $29, but you get a lot of product for your money. And directly underneath the Too Faced concealer, I'm using NARS Radiant Creamy in Chestnut. You guys see me use this all the time. This is the concealer that I like to use to brighten my face a little bit. Now, I really could, if I wanted to, I could take the Too Faced concealer and bring it down, because I think you guys should be able to see that directly under my eyes, it's a bit brighter. This one is going to be a little bit more bright than the Too Faced one. I will probably get the Too Faced one in the color Mocha, I believe it is, which is supposed to be a little bit lighter than Maple. And I may actually replace my NARS concealer with the Too Faced one in Mocha, if the color is about the same. So now I'm just blending this one out directly underneath the Too Faced concealer, and this adds even more brightness to my face. I don't like to brighten too much directly under my eyes because I have those bags right there. And I know you guys have heard me say that a million times, but you know, just in case this is your first time watching my channel. Next, I'm going in with NYX HD concealer in the color Cappuccino, and this is another product that you guys see me use all the time. And again, if this is your first time watching one of my videos, I don't contour my face too much. I just do a very, very slight contour on my nose. And I'm just going to blend that out with the same brush. You see how you can barely see it? That's how I like it. I typically don't put concealer in the center of my nose to highlight, because I'm gonna go in with a powder shimmery highlight. So I feel like that's all I need. It's not necessary for me to use a concealer there too. So that's pretty much all I do to contour my face. I'm going to zoom you guys in a little bit so we can work on the eyes. Actually, no, I'm sorry. I'm gonna set my under eye first. I'm gonna use my MAC PatrickStarrr Set Powder. And I don't think I'm gonna set my entire face today. I typically don't set my face when I wear this foundation combination, but I may go back a little bit later and set it. I'm not sure, but for right now I'm gonna see how it looks in a little bit. So I'm using the same brush that I used to apply the concealer. So I'm just setting both the Too Faced and the NARS concealer with this powder. For my eyes today, I'm using the Too Faced Chocolate Bonbons palette. This is one of my favorite, if not my absolute favorite palette, but I haven't used it in a very long time. So before we tap into the palette, the first thing I'm gonna do is prime my eyes. And lately I've been using two different primers. So on my lid, I'm using the Smashbox Lid Primer. And this one is in the color Light. And you see how it is a lot lighter than my skin tone. And I use a light color like this so that whatever colors I put on my lid will really pop and show up very nicely. Then on top of that, I'm going to be using the Makeup Revolution concealer, and this one is in the color C11. And this one is pretty light too, but as you can see, it's darker than the primer that I have on my lid. So I like using a slightly darker concealer closer to my brow bone because usually up here I'm using more matte shades or shades that just don't have to pop as much as whatever I'm putting on my lid. And I noticed when I use the very light Smashbox primer all the way up here, I end up having to use more eyeshadow than I want to cover up the primer because it is so bright. So I'm just pressing this into my skin and making sure that both the concealer and the primer are nice and flat on my lid. And I'm gonna be using the color Black Currant, which is that purple color there. And I'm going to pat that on most of my lid. I was supposed to have my my brushes like laid out before I started. I'm sorry, I forgot. So I'm using the M167 brush. So I have some of the shadow on the brush and then I'm just wetting it with some primer spray. And then I'm just gonna pack that on my lid. Next, I'm gonna take the color Molasses Chip. That's this color here. And I'm gonna pack that right in the center of this purple eyeshadow. I'm doing the same thing. I'm picking up some on the brush and then I'm wetting it. Alright, I'm switching to my M432 brush and I'm pretty much going to repeat what I did on the upper lash. I'm going to repeat that on the, what I put on the lid, I'm going to repeat that on the lower lash line. So I'm going to put the purples on the outer part of the lower lid and then I'm going to put that brownish color in the center. I'm taking the number 16 blending brush from NYX and I'm gonna go in with, I'm gonna start off with the color Mocha and I'll see if that's dark enough. This is Mocha here and I'm gonna use that to try and diffuse the shadows at the top. And if I need to, I'll go in with something darker, but I'm gonna see if this will do the trick for now. So all I'm doing is just blending that right on top of where the shadows stop on my lid. Alright, so I might as well just keep y'all zoomed in right here and I'm going to finish up with the eyes a little bit later, but for right now I'm going to go into some bronzer, and this is the Morphe Brontour in the color Fantabulous. You guys saw me use this in the, I just did a video where I tested out a bunch of new makeup, so you guys saw me give a first impression on that. So this is going to be my second time using this. I'm going to take this reddish color here. This is meant to be a contour, but I use it as a bronzer. So I'm going to bronze with that. I'm going to take my big fluffy brush and I'm going to be careful just to pick up the matte shade. And I'm going to very lightly bronze my forehead first. And I think bronzers in general need to be like rather warm tones, so they do have to run kind of either like golden or reddish. And I definitely prefer a bronzer that runs a bit more red because I have like a pink undertone. And a lot of times I feel like bronzer products, they end up looking like too like golden or too yellow on me. So I really like this one because it's nice and red. So now I'm just bronzing my cheekbones, and I'm also going to hit my jawline. I do feel like this could be maybe a little tiny bit more, I guess, brown and not quite as red. But it definitely works better than a like something that runs more golden. Because the bronzer is running kind of red, I'm gonna pretty much stick with this product. I was gonna use another blush, but I feel like the blush is gonna blend in too much with the bronzer, so I'm just gonna add a little bit of this to just add a hint of sparkle to my cheeks, because I feel like if I go in with the blush that I was gonna use, you won't even be able to see it next to this bronzer. They're gonna be like the same exact color. So with that being said, maybe this bronzer is a little too red for me. Maybe I do need something a bit more brown. But let me show you guys the blush that I was planning on using. When I look at them in the pan, they look very different, but when I applied it, this color here looks a lot more red on my face than it does in here. So this is the blush that I was going to use. This is the Note Cosmetics Luminous Silk Compact Blusher, and this is in the color Desert Rose. So I talked about this in my last video when I did the BoxyCharm unboxing. So I was going to use it today just to use it, but you see how different they look. Like this one looks a lot more like peachy or corally, and this color looks a lot more brown, but I feel like on my face it is pulling very red. So I feel like maybe I can use this as a bronzer slash blush all in one. I'm not sure, but my face is looking a little more red than I wanted it to, but we're going to keep going and see what the end result looks like. So for highlighter today, I'm also using a new product. This is the Fenty Beauty Killawatt Foil Highlighter, and I'm going to be using the color Sandcastle, this color here. And I'm going to use that on my cheeks. And this is a nice like brown toned silver, like champagne-y highlighter. And if you looked at my video where I talked about my favorite highlighters, I like highlighters that run silvery as opposed to yellow and golden. I'm gonna set everything in place with my NYX setting spray. Alright, I went ahead and put on some eyeliner and mascara on off camera, but I'll make sure I put in the description what I'm wearing on my eyes. It took me forever to decide what lipstick I wanted to wear with this. So at first I was thinking about doing something brown to kind of offset the purple in my eye, but I'm feeling like doing something like very vampy and very just like fall tone. So I'm gonna go with a purple lipstick, and this is the Wet n Wild matte lipstick in the color Vamp It Up. So this is what the color looks like, and it is nice and purpley, but it's also quite dark, so it should still offset the eyes to some extent. We'll see. All right, y'all, so this is my final look. Now that I'm looking at it, I do really like it, and I do think my jewelry complements the purple really nicely, but this is very reminiscent of another look that I did when I did cool toned makeup for spring and summer, so I'll link it up here for y'all. I think it looks very similar to that. So now that I'm looking at the purple, I kind of wish that I had chosen another color scheme, and I was actually going to do like a berry toned color scheme because that is the first thing that I think about when I think about fall makeup, but I decided to go with like plummy purple colors because I just wanted something that was a bit more dark. You know, I'm just ready for like the darker colors, and I think it's because I just changed my hair color. So if you've been watching any of my old videos, I had red hair pretty much all summer, so I felt like with the red hair I always had to like play it safe with the eyeshadow and the lipstick color. So I feel like now that I've toned my hair down, I can really like make my lipstick and my eyeshadow kind of bold, so I have a feeling I'm gonna be wearing these types of looks pretty much through the rest of summer and fall. But anyway, I really hope that y'all like the way that the look came out. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, let me know by giving me a thumbs up, and I hope to see y'all back for my next upload. In the meantime, check these out from my channel. Please watch, please enjoy, please don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I'll see y'all next time. Until then, take care. Bye.